In Britain, a dreadful zombie virus escapes from a lab and spreads through the population, resulting in thousands of deaths. Don and his wife Alice, who have different colored eyes, find refuge in a remote countryside cottage with a few other survivors: Jeff, Sally, Jacob, and Karen. Alice and Don, relieved that they sent their 2 children on a school trip to Spain where they are safe, are grateful for their isolation. One day, while the survivors are having lunch, they hear someone desperately pounding on their door, begging for help. Don is hesitant to welcome strangers, but Alice recognizes the voice of a child and convinces him to open the door. They provide the boy with food as he recounts his harrowing tale. His parents turned into zombies, and he fled from a neighboring town, chased by a horde. Meanwhile, Karen frets over her missing boyfriend who left days ago and hasn't returned. Peering cautiously through a small part of the window, she unwittingly attracts the attention of the zombies, who break through the window and attack. They seize her arm, swiftly inflicting a bite. Jacob intervenes, pulling her back, only to witness Karen succumb to the infection, vomiting blood as she struggles against Jacob's grasp. Don emerges behind her and delivers a fatal blow to her head, allowing Jacob to escape. With more zombies approaching, Don stays behind to fend them off, giving the others a chance to flee. Alice and the boy dash down the hallway, but the zombies are breaching other windows. Hastily, they ascend the stairs, where the child races so swiftly that Alice loses sight of him. Meanwhile, Jeff, Sally, and Jacob attempt to flee through the cottage barn, but the relentless zombies pursue them. Jeff valiantly holds the door to allow the others to escape, but the door is forcefully kicked down, leading to Geoff's swift demise under the relentless zombie attack. Sally, paralyzed with grief, witnesses her husband being devoured. This momentary hesitation allows the zombies to close in on her. Despite Jacob's efforts, he cannot muster enough strength to rescue her. He reluctantly releases her, shutting the hatch to escape through the window, leaving Sally to be consumed. Downstairs, Don successfully dispatches a group of zombies but loses his weapon in the struggle. Forced to run, he hears Alice's scream and rushes to her aid, urging her to escape. Alice, determined to find the child, refuses to leave without him. Don, overwhelmed by fear, closes the door, abandoning his wife and the boy to the zombies inside the house. With dozens of zombies in pursuit, Don races across the farmland, disregarding Alice at the window. Eventually, he reaches the river dock, where Jacob is attempting to flee on a motorboat. Don boards the boat, starting the motor while Jacob finishes untying it. However, when Jacob attempts to jump in, he slips, falling into the water, where zombies bite him. Transforming into one of them, he tries to attack Don, who kicks him down and starts the motorboat, using the propeller blades to eliminate Jacob before sailing away safely. 15 days after the outbreak, Britain is quarantined, and by day 28, the virus has ravaged the entire country. 5 days later, the zombies start succumbing to starvation. 11 weeks afterward, NATO forces from the USA arrive in London to initiate the cleanup operation. At 18 weeks, Britain is officially declared infection-free, with reconstruction efforts commencing by week 24, as returning Britons contribute to the restoration process. American soldiers, including Sniper Doyle and helicopter pilot Flynn, continue to patrol and safeguard London, engaging in lighthearted banter over their radios due to the absence of combat. During the latest arrival, a group of schoolchildren returns from their trip, much to the dismay of Dr. Scarlet, who deems it premature for youngsters to face potential exposure. While conducting tests on the newcomers, Scarlet encounters Tammy and Andy, the children of Don and Alice. Noting Andy's heterochromia, he attributes it to his mother. Following confirmation of their well-being, the siblings observe soldiers incinerating corpses, disposing of hazardous waste, and sanitizing the city. They eventually reach District 1, a fortified repatriation zone, where they reunite with their father, Don. Don escorts them to his lavish apartment, courtesy of his role as District 1's caretaker, but the children are more curious about their mother's fate. Don fabricates a story about Alice's demise during a zombie attack at the cottage, concealing the truth. That night, Andy dreams of Alice transforming into a fearsome zombie, prompting him to seek solace with his sister, fearing the loss of his mother's memory. The following morning, Andy and Tammy clandestinely depart the apartment while Don is at work. They venture beyond the safe zone, crossing the bridge's edge, inadvertently catching Doyle's attention from his rooftop perch. As Doyle alerts his team, the siblings explore the unoccupied parts of London, reveling in their newfound freedom from adult supervision. When they discover a delivery bike parked outside a pizzeria, Tammy ventures inside to locate the keys and is horrified to find decaying bodies strewn everywhere. She covers her mouth and nose, cautiously retrieves the keys from a corpse, and is startled by a swarm of roaches. Snatching a helmet, she reunites with her brother to depart on the bike. As they navigate through the city, they witness the aftermath of the zombie attack and the proliferation of graves erected in recent months. Eventually reaching their former residence, they retrieve a picture of Alice and gather some of their belongings. While exploring the attic, Andy encounters boarded windows, decaying food on a table, peculiar markings, and their names scrawled on the wall. Startled by a figure in the mirror, initially mistaking it for Tammy, he realizes it's Alice, albeit with a bloodshot eye but otherwise unharmed. Alice embraces her son fervently, overwhelming him, just as the military arrives to apprehend the children and capture Alice. Subsequently, Alice undergoes decontamination and is secured to a stretcher. Scarlett attempts to interrogate her to no avail. Upon extracting a blood sample, Scarlett notes that Alice was bitten yet remains unaffected. Although she carries the virus, she exhibits immunity, potentially pivotal in vaccine development. Despite the authorities' intent to terminate her, they postpone the examination until after her demise. Meanwhile, the siblings remain in quarantine, chastising Don for his deception upon his visit. Don seeks out Alice in isolation, expressing remorse for his flight fueled by panic, prompting Alice to profess her love. Overcome, Don reciprocates and kisses his wife, unwittingly infecting himself with her saliva. Succumbing to illness, he transforms into a zombie, assaulting Alice before attacking guards and fleeing, spreading the virus within District 1. Learning of the debacle, authorities initiate a code red lockdown and retreat to a secure bunker. As soldiers in town prepare for combat, Tammy and Andy witness their guard entering the door, only to return as a transformed zombie. He pounds the glass, attempting to reach them until Scarlett's gunshot causes his head to explode. She then liberates the children, leading them through the building strewn with bodies. They find themselves amidst a frantic crowd attempting to flee, and amidst the chaos, Scarlett asserts the kids' top priority status, sparking an argument with soldiers who insist civilians must use another exit. In the ensuing confusion, Andy becomes separated from Scarlett and Tammy, shoved into a safe room garage along with other civilians as soldiers secure them inside for protection just before the district's power outage. While awaiting help, Andy hears a noise at the door and discovers his zombie father drenched in blood. Don, deranged, breaks through the door, attacking civilians. Andy, in panic, seeks refuge as the virus spreads, fueling panic among the crowd. With zombies multiplying, Andy climbs atop the crowd, finding sanctuary in the ventilation system. As others break the lock and flee via the stairs, zombies flood out, spreading the virus further. On the streets, emergency lights guide soldiers to the hospital as snipers provide cover. Zombies infiltrate the lobby, prompting Scarlett and Tammy to flee while soldiers engage in combat. Doyle and rooftop snipers eliminate zombies with remarkable skill, yet the onslaught persists, blurring the distinction between infected and uninfected. Observing the chaos, higher-ups concede loss of control and order soldiers to eliminate all targets in sight. Amidst escalating gunfire and a devastating massacre, Andy emerges from the vents directly into the heart of chaos. Fortunately, he finds himself in Doyle's sector, a sniper who refuses to harm survivors. Doyle systematically eliminates zombies surrounding Andy, including one that nearly attacks him, providing the kid with an opportunity to escape alongside other survivors. As some zombies reach the rooftops, attacking fellow snipers, Doyle, after clearing the streets, is compelled to make his own escape. The survivors seek refuge in a warehouse, where Andy reunites with Scarlett and Tammy, recounting their father's fate. Doyle arrives and offers to guide them out of the area before the approaching military strike. Exiting through the back door, the group stealthily navigates the streets, ensuring they remain concealed in the shadows to evade detection by other guards. As Flynn flies overhead in the helicopter, Doyle instructs the group to wait, distracting Flynn through the radio before resuming their movement. Flynn then delivers grim news: the military will bomb all of District 1 in 4 minutes. Doyle convinces Flynn to pick him up at Regent's Park, withholding information about the survivors. The group races toward the park, but a sniper targets one of the members, resulting in casualties. Scarlett sustains a flesh wound, leaving only her, the siblings, Doyle, and a man named Sam. Seeking cover behind a wall, Doyle attempts to locate the sniper using a piece of metal as a reflection, but the sniper shoots it down. Realizing the sniper is an amateur civilian in panic, Doyle asks Sam to run in zigzag to distract the shooter for a clear shot, but Sam refuses. Andy bravely takes on the task, and the zigzag running confounds the amateur shooter, allowing Doyle to eliminate him with a single shot. Andy, shocked to see his father nearby, is swiftly ushered away by the group, and Don's image vanishes. The group races to safety, scaling a fence just before the impending bombing decimates District 1. The area erupts in explosions, claiming thousands of lives and obliterating all of Scarlett's research for a cure. Flames engulf the hospital windows, consuming Alice in a fiery demise. The group dashes through a tunnel, flames nipping at their heels, but they escape before the building succumbs to explosion. Observing from their bunker, the generals are stunned to witness numerous zombies surviving the bombing, wreaking havoc in London as they invade buildings in search of prey. At dawn, Doyle's group finally arrives at the deserted Regent's Park, abandoned since the viral outbreak. While awaiting Flynn's arrival, Scarlett shares with Doyle the potential significance of the children carrying the same gene, which could hold the key to a vaccine. In that moment, Flynn contacts Doyle, announcing his imminent arrival but cautioning them about the escaped zombies. Doyle swiftly orders everyone to conceal themselves in the tall grass as Flynn lands nearby, though he becomes irate upon seeing the group and refuses to transport them. Amidst the ensuing argument, Sam notices the encroaching zombies and rushes to grasp onto the chopper. An enraged Flynn maneuvers erratically, attempting to dislodge Sam, and as the zombies close in, he descends the helicopter, using the rotor blades to dispatch the undead. Despite the carnage, a few zombies survive, pursuing Doyle, Scarlett, and the children, while Sam eventually succumbs, likely turning into a zombie due to his blood-soaked state. The group flees, with Doyle intermittently firing at encroaching zombies. Flynn directs Doyle to rendezvous at Wembley Stadium but insists on abandoning the others. Rounding a corner, the group is stunned to find the military releasing gas into the city, prompting them to seek refuge inside a car in haste. At that moment, the zombies catch up to them and start shaking the vehicle, splattering their blood all over the windows. However, the gas soon reaches them and kills them all in seconds. Afterward, a group of soldiers appears with flamethrowers to eliminate any survivors, prompting Doyle to attempt starting the car. Unfortunately, it won't work, so Doyle exits to push the vehicle, intending to jump-start it and aid Scarlett and the kids in their escape, but he ends up being burned to death by the soldiers in the process. Scarlett takes control of the wheel and drives through London as fast as possible, only to draw the attention of other military helicopters that open fire on them. After evading a few bullets, Scarlett steers the car into the subway tunnels, and they proceed on foot. The lower tunnels are shrouded in darkness, prompting Scarlett to utilize Doyle's night vision scope to guide the children down an escalator. However, as they tread upon some old bodies and slip, they become separated in the chaos. Amidst the bodies, Scarlett calls out the siblings' names and eventually reunites with Tammy, but the noise attracts a zombie as well. The creature seizes Doyle's weapon and assaults Scarlett until she succumbs. After the zombie departs, Tammy retrieves the weapon and is devastated to find Scarlett's lifeless body. Meanwhile, Andy finds himself on a dark platform, where he encounters the zombie that killed Scarlett. The monster lunges at him, sinking its teeth into his neck, and by the time Tammy arrives, it's too late. When the zombie's head rises, she's horrified to recognize it as her father, but despite her initial hesitation, she shoots him dead. Tearfully, Tammy checks on her brother, who, in fear of infecting her, flees when he notices his eye turning bloodshot like Alice's, indicating his immunity. The siblings eventually reach the stadium and deliver the grim news about Doyle to Flynn. With no other recourse, Flynn transports the kids, flying over Britain to seek refuge in mainland Europe. 28 days later, Flynn's helicopter lies abandoned in France, with a distress call heard over the radio. As a horde of zombies races toward the Eiffel Tower, it becomes evident that the virus has now breached the confines of Britain. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications for more content like this. Thank you for watching.